What's up, beautiful PHP family? How everyone is feeling today? Beautiful Monday to everyone. How everyone is feeling? Nice to see you, Florian. Mivrik, what's up, dude? Kisa, nice to see you. Rafael, nice to see you as well. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another amazing live stream. And today, oh boy, we are going to double check what is the best stack in 2026. We have done kind of a video like this 1 year ago, if I'm not mistaken. And 1 year ago, my choices are very different from right now. So I want to kind of discuss everything with you guys on this regard, okay? Okay, so we are going to discuss like what is your favorite editor at the minute, like what is your favorite AI model, which is your favorite way of interacting with AI models. Like we are going to find everything we need to discuss to be like a full stack, mega productive engineer in 2026, okay? Melox, nice to see you. Edeshavo, nice to see you as well. DevStack equals to my terminal. No, you use a little bit more than that, right? You deploy somewhere, you just, you know, there's a bunch of discussions on this, so that's it. Chat, how everyone is feeling today? What are you guys working on at the minute? We are going to start this live stream real soon. Hope you guys are doing fantastic though. How is the week so far? Beautiful Monday, what are you guys working on? What's up? Aiden, nice to see you. Shirak, nice to see you as well, man. Edek, what's up, dude? How you doing? What's up, TikTok people? How everyone's feeling today? Hopefully good. Is Laravel 13 coming? Well, hopefully this week, yes. I am not actually actively working on it. That's Taylor mainly. I'm doing other stuff at the minute. I'm actually working on 2 big features for Laravel 13. Okay. Mavik is saying the following: I'm looking forward for my new apartment. Nice. That's dope. Applying for a new job, last part is up tomorrow. Oh, nice. Laravel is also seeking for developers, by the way. If you guys want to be Laravel core team members, Laravel is literally recruiting at the minute. Go to laravel.com/careers. A bunch of stuff there. Chat. So today, my plan is, I actually have made a tweet. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I've done a tweet this morning. I wake up inspired. Oh, shit, I'm not logged in. Okay, let me work on this. 1 second. I woke up inspired this morning and I did a tweet about my stack in 2026. However, I feel like I missed out on a bunch of stuff. So hopefully we're going to discuss all of that today, okay? Okay. What is your verification code? That's a good question. Where do I even get that? 1 second, chat. 1 second. I kind of have to log in my Twitter account so I'm able to do and show you my tweets, okay? Bam. This is my code, I think. And yep, I'm logged in. Nice. Bada boom. How you guys feeling, chat? You guys are a little bit shy today. Come on, how are you guys feeling today? Hopefully good. A bunch of people are already joining, which is good. How you doing? Okay, what I have tweeted today? Yeah, I tweeted a bunch of shit, actually. Like, literally tweeted all the time today. What do I have here? Yeah, this is what I have literally tweeted this morning, okay? My 2026 dev stack, I've literally said, okay, that my AI model is Cloud Code Opus 4.6, my AI UI is Cloud Code CLI, my backend is PHP and Laravel, frontend TypeScript, Inertia, React, and Tailwind CSS, deploy Laravel Cloud, DB, Postgres, cache Redis through Valkey, PHP Storm, Ghostly, and macOS. And I'm missing a bunch of stuff here, but I had to fit the tweet thing, you know what I mean? So I kind of, stayed right here. But a bunch of traction, a lot of people have different opinions, so I kind of want to know your opinion on this topic. So did you recover from Laracon? I think I did, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very good, actually. I'm feeling fantastically good today. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about. By the way, chat, do you guys remember that rule we coded together that allows you to remove every single doc block, useless doc block, basically? That shipped on Laravel Pint, by the way, okay? Let me just show you that real quick. So that got shipped on Laravel Cloud, on Laravel Pint. So if I go into docs of laravel.com, go to Pint, which is somewhere, here we go. And within this documentation, I have a section that explains that if you use this PHP doc type annotations only, this will remove literally every single comment that you don't need. Okay. Why not iTerm? That's a great question we are going to discuss today, okay? I want to literally talk about all of that, man. It'll be so fun today's live stream, Chad. So that's the goal, man. We are going to literally analyze every single bit of my full dev stack at the minute. Okay? How is the gym for you all today? Do you guys went to the gym? If yes, type yes, Chad. I want to see how many of you went to the gym today. Okay? Super important to be a productive web developer, okay? Just go to the gym every day, okay? No? What do you mean? What do you mean no? Come on, man. Come on. All right, so we have that to do, and I think we should just get started. All right. So how many pieces development have today? If we think a little bit about this, how many pieces do we have? I think we have, if we look at the full spectrum of our application, I think we have a few pieces, okay? We have the backend, of course. We have the front end. We have the deployment layer. What else we have? We have like the development setup almost, like the things we use locally to develop this thing, okay? So let's do all of that today, okay? Let's actually talk about every single bit of those components, okay, of those small bits, okay? So we are going to use Escalidra to do that. So nice rectangulars right here to all of that. Bam. And this, more too, okay? And then we can zoom in and zoom out, I think. Here we go, okay? So this will be backend. Can I just draw all the way top? Because that would be useful. How do I even draw all the way top? Oh, here we go. Backend. Nice. So backend we can, for example, start with, how many pieces did I have on my tweet? I have a few tweets here. Here we go. AI model and things like that. All right. But this won't be backend. This will be like local development. Let's actually put backend here. Let's put all the way down, just like that. Easy peasy. Okay, just like that. How do I change this? How do I change the font size? Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, that's not bad either. Okay, let's actually do that. So we have backend, we have front end, we have development setup, and all the way down we have production. That's the last piece we are going to talk about today, okay? This will be production. We have backend, we have front end, and we have local development. This is the very first one we are going to check it out today, okay? Local development. So what tools you guys use locally for development and everything like that. I'm missing anything here, or what do you guys think? This is looking good so far, right? Sports, that's good as well. Development tools heard. Just one piece of advice, just one piece, Cloud Code. Cloud Code is not nearly enough. And that's one of the biggest things on my tweet is that AI really feels these days as one small piece of the puzzle when we talk about stack, basically, okay? AI model and AI UI is just one piece of the puzzle. That is many other pieces that you as a software engineer have to take care of. Okay. Okay. CMux is the new ghostly killer. I have never used CMux. How good CMux is? I have never used it. I have no idea. Joa Canito, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream, dude. Nice to see you all today. Okay. So we're calling this, I think we're calling this local tools, okay? Local dev tools, okay? Local dev tools. So this is our 2026 thing, okay? So we need to have a huge title saying that. 2026, like a huge stack thing, okay? Excel, Megabig, here we go, okay? All right. Let's actually start things off. There is a few pieces we are going to add here, slowly but surely, and I want to add them very, very nicely, okay? How do I even change the font size? Oh, right here? No, I want to like just make it small, but not that small, just a little bit small, if you know what I mean. I hope to see Vite Plus there. So here is one question, Chad. What I did understand about the Vite Plus, you guys saw the Vite Plus, Vite Void Cloud situation, like all that real? So basically, for my understanding, at some point, the Vite company, let's call it that way, the Void thing, was supposed to make money out of Vite, but now Vite is open source, and now they have the Vite Cloud the Void Cloud situation, and Vite is now totally free. And part of that story means that Vite Plus is fully open source now, meaning that we can actually have all of that in my own starter kit, which is this one, okay? So potentially all my starter kits, the Inertia React one, Vue.js one, like all my Laravel stuff will migrate to Vite Plus, easy peasy. You know, no reason why not to do it. Because Vite Plus comes with all the Vite stack, basically, which is exactly what we use in Laravel. There's already a pull request moving everything to Bit Plus. That's awesome. I need to check how well that plays with inertia and with our current Laravel stack, you know? Well, usually they do pull requests, but they don't have like the full context of the things we work on. And I need to double check that. Yep. It's not yours. That's all good. Most important tool, MacBook. Oh yeah, baby. We can actually start with that, actually. All right. Let's actually start with AI models. Okay. So AI model is the very first one. I know that a bunch of you use different AI models. Let's try to focus this for the average developer, like the very normal developer that uses PHP and Laravel and uses some JavaScript. Like, which one currently is the best model out there? And in my opinion, you write on the chat what do you guys think, but in my opinion, the best AI model on the entire planet at the minute for coding, it's called Cloud Code Opus 4.6. Okay, this is just what I think. I think like Cloud Code Opus 4.6 is by far the best one stack, the best one model thing for the entire story. Okay, Cloud Code Opus 4.6. Let me know what you guys think, or if you guys think there is another option here, and if there is another option, like why? Why do you guys think there needs another option besides this? Opus for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. Rafael is saying Opus 4.6. Yep. I feel you. Same thing here. Same thing. Is everyone else using Cloud Code Opus 4.6? Or I'm the only one? I think a bunch of people are at the minute. Is one of the best models out there for every Laravel developer out there. Okay. GLM5 chip do the same thing as Opus 4.6. Yeah, I would have to test it out, I guess. How to know what is a good model? That's a great question, okay? That is a great question. In my opinion, a good model is one model that literally one-shot what you request him to do. And I feel like with Cloud Code, all the generated code, after having Boost installed and after having all the skills installed, the Cloud Code Opus almost always one-shot features for me, which is exactly what I want. So hear me out. I know that a bunch of you like Codex, but I feel like with Codex, my experience so far is that it just takes things too far almost. So I like go slowly with my model. Like every single time I interact with an AI model, I actually go super slowly, you know? So if I'm like literally working on the feature, I like to work on migrations and then controllers and then, you know, just going slowly but surely. And I feel with Codex, it just takes forever and it always does too much almost, you know? So I think like Codex might be better suited for people who are truly vibe coding and not people who want to go slowly and have literally AI as an assistant instead of being AI as a coder for you. You know what I mean? What's up, Pick and Flow? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, man. Alexa is a Void Zero member. Oh, really? That's awesome. Welcome, Alex. Blue Cactus AI is saying the following. Opus all the frontier on coding, while pretty sure GPT 5.4 has caught up. 5.4 is better at deep reasoning in large systems, in my opinion. Codex is a little bit too verbose. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, Codex just goes too far. It just does too much, almost. Okay, so I think we stick for now at least. This is my stack, and I think like at the minute I'm very happy with Cloud Code Opus 4.6. Now I want to talk to you about the AI UI. Okay, let's call it this way. At the minute I'm using Cloud Code CLI, and you guys let me know what you guys are using. I know a bunch of you uses this combined with your editor, which is fine, but let me know what you are using at the minute. I'm using Cloud Code CLI. Now there is a bunch of stuff I want to show you that you probably don't know about Cloud Code CLI, which is very good. They recently released this new feature that allows you to actually voice interact with the chat. Okay, let me show you that in practice. Chat. Let me just turn off the music real quick. So there is two things you now can do. First of all, you can use this command called it by the way, which allows you to do literally a quick side question without interrupting the main conversation you are having. So if I were to say something like, can you build this feature? I can literally interact in the middle, just saying something like, by the way, whatever are you using? And this will literally just make a side question to the agent itself. Okay, it will still work, and it's just awesome. Now, there is one thing I have discovered recently, which is actually mind-blowing, is that you can actually use voice now to interact with this Cloud Code agent. Okay, the way it works is simple. So you just are in your Cloud Code situation, and you just type voice. oops, which was enabled already, so I'm going to just do it again. And by having voice enabled, now I can just press space and just keep it to actually record something, okay? So here, for example, I can say something like this. I'm going to press space right now. Which PHP version is this project using? And I leave it. Bam, it just wrote what I literally just said. And I feel like this is so good to be productive. Aaron Francis literally told me a tool to use that was doing this exactly same thing. And now I'm just using this /voice thing. This is kind of new though, okay? I literally just learned this thing like 2 days ago. And I feel like this, speech test is such a game changer, honestly, and it can just literally keep going. Oh, by the way, also tell me like what Laravel version this project is using. And meanwhile, also write a few tests for this project. It is crazy. Like you can literally get mega productive with this, plus like 1 million context, which is kind of new as well. So now you have 1 million context, which is literally just works. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys know these features, but I feel like potentially there's space for me here to do a video about this because there is a few features that I actually know and use all the time that people may not know. And voice is one of them, okay? Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Back to the AI UI people are using at the minute. So I'm using Cloud Code CLI. Let's see what people are saying. Sanders is using OpenCode. Oscar is using OpenCode. By the way, did OpenCode already fix the issue where you wouldn't be allowed to use Cloud Code authentication, I think? So I'm using, obviously, the Laravel subscription of Cloud Code, and I cannot use OpenCode for that reason, because it required like the OAuth situation, which was blocked for a second. Is still that a thing? Do you guys even know about that? So a lot of people using Cloud Code, OpenCode, but also a lot of people using Cloud Code. In my last stream, I got the perception that a lot of you use this combined with Cursor or anything like that. So I don't even know anymore. Ba-ba-boo! Not officially? What does that mean? What does that mean officially? Because that was a big blocker, because I was actually a big fan of OpenCode, but because I couldn't use Cloud Code, I was like kind of stuck in this weird position where I couldn't just do things, Pig and Flow is saying the following about this situation. You cannot still use Cloud Code auth. Yeah, that's a big blocker for me. I cannot basically use Cloud Code if I am on OpenCode. That's a big blocker for me. Even though I love them, I love David, I dev Dax and everything. Anti-gravity? What is even that? I don't even know. Cursor, but also uses Cursor, which is understandable, okay? So here we have AI UI. To be realistic with you, I use Cloud Code combined with GitHub Desktop, and I use GitHub Desktop for the actual code review, okay? Okay. So here I use two pieces. I use Cloud Code CLI plus GitHub Desktop for the actual code review. Okay. And I know that some editors actually give you like very good code reviewing situation, but for me, GitHub Desktop really works here. Okay. PHP Storm Cloud Code integration now in the UI. I need to try it out. I haven't tested it out. Okay. Levis Code is saying Google Anti-Gravity. So is that like an agentic editor or an agentic UI? I haven't used it before. I also haven't used it GitHub Copilot as agentic coding yet. I haven't used it. Well, I've tried a Polyscope, but not extensively. By the way, chat, does any of you have used this tool from Aaron Francis called oh shit, I forgot the name. Solo? Oh, it's Solo. Does any of you have tried Solo before? Soloterm.com. I have not tried this, but I feel like potentially there is a mix between agentic development and this new terminal, I guess. This is a terminal, right? Yeah, this is a terminal. It is a terminal. Yeah, it feels a terminal to me. Yeah, so we are going to do a full live stream to talk about this. Which work of you are you most proud of? Oh, man, that's a deep question. I'm proud of every tool I have ever developed for PHP. Yeah, Solo Term, that's the one. It's dope as fuck. All right, I'm going to just do a live stream to test it out. Maybe I will do it today, depending on the time. But I definitely want to try it out. Why do you choose React instead of Blade Livewire? We're going to talk about that in a second. Yep. All right, so AI UI, Cloud Code CLI plus GitHub Desktop for code reviewing. This is what I'm using at the minute. Let's take a moment to say thanks to our sponsors. Of course, Redberry International, one of the best digital agencies out there. They are very good developing Laravel and Vue apps, so make sure you check them out. Redberry.international. They're absolutely awesome. Of course, SERP API. If you ever needed to actually just use Google, but like through an API, this is your thing, okay? It's called SERP API, and it's literally a Google search API. They also support other providers if you want to, and they give you the results back in JSON format, okay? SERPAPI.com. Then we have Mailtrap as well. Mailtrap is this local email solution that now also supports production emails, and they're absolutely awesome. So W sponsors, chat. Everyone typing W sponsors because they make this awesome, okay? They make this like a dream come true, honestly. And they used to be this local development, but now they also allow production emails. So check them out as well. Mailtrap.io. JetBrains, of course, the company behind PHP Storm. They have made the best editor in the entire planet, PHP Storm for the win, huge W, PHP Storm. And they also have other editors for other languages, so check them out. JetBrains.com. Titan, of course, the company behind the book Laravel Up and Running, which was wrote by Matt Stauffer. They build and rescue web apps. They are good with React, with Laravel, and pretty much everything. Check them out as well. CodeRabbit.ai. If you want to have some nice code reviewing in your code through pull requests, they're absolutely awesome. They have this nice graphs and everything. Check them out if you can. CodeRabbit.ai. And that's it. Also, don't forget to subscribe my channel, okay? Very important. Subscribe my YouTube channel if you can. Solo Term is the best, is so clean. Oh, really? It's everyone like using it? Jesus Christ, we need to check it out. So it's promised a full live stream using Solo Term, okay? Solo Term for the win. We're going to try it out. So, okay, so if we are in the AI model space, I think the next step, let me see if I don't forget anything. I want to talk about every single bit of my development stack, okay? So locally, I think the next step is talk about the editor, okay? Which editor are you guys using? Let me know in the chat which editor are you guys using. For me, it's PHP Storm. I think PHP Storm for PHP development is still the GOAT. Like this Laravel, Inertia Stack, Livewire, and everything, PHP Storm is, in my opinion, just the GOAT for this stuff. It just does everything I want to. If I'm truly honest, I am using PHP Storm less and less because I'm literally just relying on Cloud Code to write a lot of my code. However, I know that JetBrains just realized a new editor, which is more agentic towards, basically. So that I want to try it out as well, okay? I want to try it out as well, 100%. Dragonito is saying VS Code, Raphael, and Notra Bravelant is saying PHP Storm, Peak and Flow PHP Storm, of course. How about the other ones? What are you guys using at the minute? I want to know, chat. By the way, chat, we have 100 people watching the live stream. Don't forget, go all the way down and click like on this video, subscribe to the channel, do everything, okay? Do all of that. So this is the IDE, PHP Storm. If I'm truly honest with you, and this is a question that I have to you all, if you need to perform like a very small change in some files, what do you actually use? Let's actually have here editor, but how would you call something like Nano or Vim or Sublime Text? Which category is that? Let's actually put it on the IDE category. I sometimes still go to Sublime Text, if I'm honest. Okay? If I'm honest, sometimes I still go to Sublime Text. So I want to quickly change something like a file or even on a terminal. If I use Nano sometimes, you know, I use Nano sometimes too, but not all. It's more like Sublime Text. Yeah, let's just keep with Sublime Text. Text editor, thank you. So the text editor, I think, the text editor, it's mainly Sublime Text for those small things, okay? Notepad, oh my God, dude. In just Nano is equally good. Nobody said Vim. This is the very first live stream that nobody wrote Vim on my chat, ever, okay? Even people, sometimes I'm not talking about coding and people still type Vim. That's how much Vim is like typed on this chat, because the people really like to say they code on Vim. But today, we haven't seen any single Vim user, which is crazy. Absolutely insane, chat. Absolutely insane. Which is absolutely insane, okay? But yeah, editor PHP Storm with Sublime Text, that's pretty much what I use. Yep. What else can we talk about? We can talk about terminal, which at the minute, do I even know how to type this? Terminal ghostly. Do I even know how to type ghostly? Of course I don't. There you go. This is the terminal I'm using at the minute. It's called ghostly. Okay. Now, many of you may question like why I'm using ghostly, because it seems to me like a good modern alternative to iTerm 2. I was an iTerm 2 user. I like a simple terminal that really just works like back in the days. And Ghostly, it's precisely that. It's like a rewritten of iTerm 2, but like more modern, feels more cool, basically. And it just doesn't feel heavy, you know? Some of the terminals you guys recommend to me all the time, and let me know, by the way, on the chat, which terminal are you guys use. But some of you have recommended to me terminals in the past, and they just seems too heavy. Like they have too many things. I like simple terminals, you know. I want to SSH into my server and not being like, you know, fucking recommended with AI on top of it. You know, I like to keep it simple. So I'm using Ghostly. Have you tried Warp? I think I have tried Warp once. It felt to me, maybe I'm confused again. I probably should need to try it again. But it felt to me that Warp enters on this category what is trying too many things. And I want to keep it simple. So that's why I'm using Ghostly. iTerm with Tmux. Well, I definitely should try Tmux again. Tmux, everyone says, is good. I probably should just literally have a full live stream about Tmux. So, hear me out. Is Solo a terminal as well? Because everyone seems to be using Solo here, a lot of people. PowerShell? All right, dude, you need to fix that, all right? On my stream, if it's something I do is like being brutally honest with people, PowerShell is not even on the top 1,000 good terminals, okay? So you need to fix that ASAP. PowerShell is no good, okay? You need to fix that. Interesting. Solo renders Ghostly. Oh, so behind the scenes, Solo uses Ghostly? That's a good thing, actually. Windows Terminal for the win? All right, chat. We need to fix that ASAP, okay? Snowflake, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, but I'm using terminal Ghostly, and actually this is Ghostly, by the way. This is Ghostly. This app right here, this is Ghostly right now. Okay, you cannot see it, but it is Ghostly. Just easy peasy Ghostly 1.3. Okay. Get Aaron on the show. Yeah, Aaron is coming. By the way, let me announce this. Okay, there's a couple of things I want to announce, okay? A couple of things. The first one is that, are you guys familiar? This is top news, okay? Top secret news, because I still have to announce it on Twitter. Are you guys familiar with this show? Are you guys familiar with this show? Do you guys know this show? Does anyone here in the chat know this show? Call it Mostly Technical. Type yes if you know. Type no if you don't. Okay? Type no if you don't. Type yes if you know this show. Okay, no, that's very interesting. So a few people know, most of you don't know. All right, so hear me out for a second. The people behind this show, they are Ian Lensman and Aaron Francis, okay? Ian Lensman is the person who gave the very first job to Taylor Otwell. The reason why Laravel Framework exists, it's because of this dude right here. Okay. Now, Aaron Francis deserves no explanation if you don't know him. He's literally a superstar in terms of teaching web development, literally. Teaching like databases, teaching other stuff. Now he's teaching AI too. He's a superstar. So both of them are coming to my YouTube channel on March 24, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, March 24, okay? So, you know, if you guys want to hear a mashup, like a huge mostly technical Nuno Nation Wombo combo, make sure you subscribe my channel because he is coming. Okay, he is absolutely coming. They are both coming to my show, and that's the mostly technical thing, okay? This will be literally a discussion about various things, but it won't be like towards solo term. Now, what we can do is that have a full live stream just about solo term and have Aaron Francis on the show. And I think he wants to come because literally today on Twitter, he told me like he would be down to come. So if I click here, I think at some point someone said that it would be kind of cool to have Aaron on show. Here we go. So I think he is down to come. What's up, Charlie French boy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, my name is New Developer. I love what I do. And today we are deciding which one is the best stack in 2026. The best, the biggest, and the mighty stack for ultra productive PHP development with Laravel and JavaScript and everything, okay? We are at the minute discussing the AI model, AI UI, IDE, and now we are jumping to the terminal, which we have just literally agreed on that Ghostly is the GOAT, okay? I got one question. Go ahead, dude. Make any questions you want. Okay? All right, next. Though, this is a terminal. Let me see if there is anything on my original tweet that should be incorporated here. Otherwise, we may just discuss a little bit of other things, okay? DB, cache. Yeah, let's just, acknowledge something really important, which is locally, you also want to mimic or fully mimic production. So, I don't think it's worth to discuss later which cache are you using or which database are you using. All of them are going to be, let's just say, the production ones, okay? The production ones, okay? And we are going to literally just discuss that on the production box right here, okay? Obviously, for cache, I have opinions. For database, I have opinions. For language, I have opinions. And we are going to discuss all of that in the second, okay? I think one important thing here to kind of address a little bit is the operating system everyone should be using. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am a macOS user since I can remember. And since I started to use macOS, I literally no longer looked for anything else. Okay? And there is one reason, which is the stability, okay? I remember very much the very first days I walked with a computer in my life, and I was using Windows. Windows was just unstable all the time, like blue screens all the time. It was just annoying. I remember as well using something like Linux, and Linux was no different, okay? Linux was literally giving me problems all the time. Every time I would try to connect an HDMI, it would be just problematic. I think, just to give you the perspective, on Laracon.eu, we had the single speaker with Linux, and that was the speaker that literally had problems on stage. So that's how much, I think having a stable operating system is important. And for that reason, I'm using a MacBook with macOS, literally. Okay, so here will be a laptop. Let's just type here OS, for example, and let's keep here macOS. Okay. And Windows for games, exactly. I do agree with you, man. I agree with you, absolutely. Why not open code? Basically because it does not support Cloud Code Auth. Okay. So, yep. Not okay. What's not okay? The operating system? Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Write on the chat which operating system you think it's the ghost. If it's macOS, type macOS. If it's Windows, type Windows. If it's Linux, type Linux. Let me know what you think about this. Some people using Ubuntu 24.04 on Shimon My Notebook Pro. Interesting. Olivekin is saying if Laravel was banned, you choose another full stack framework. I would 100% sure go for JavaScript. It's just fully JavaScript. A lot of you saying macOS, but a bunch of you are now saying as well Windows with the Linux terminal situation with WSL, which is kind of okay. It's way better than before, that's for sure. WSL is good. It was probably one of the biggest things Windows have developed recently, honestly. Okay. Now, we can talk a little bit about the DB viewer. And for this, I'm using Table Plus. By the way, I'm using Table Plus because I'm using mostly PGSQL, which you can get this in a second. But Table Plus really just works for checking the database schema and everything like that. Any of you have another recommendation on the DB viewer? I know that some of you have recommended the PHP Storm one, but yeah. DB Ever, which I don't know what that is. What is DB Ever? Why everyone is typing that? What the fuck? Let me just Google it real quick. Oh, it's a community and is a free open source database management tool. Interesting. Doesn't this support macOS? It does. I want to try this now. Oh wow, a lot of people using this. Are you using the paid version of Table Plus? Likely. I don't even know. I think I am. It's very likely that I am. Yeah. If I am, I don't know, but I think I am. I used to be a user of SQLace, by the way. No. I used to be a huge user of SQLace, but now I'm just relying on Table Plus all the time. But I used to be a big user of SQLace for many years. Okay. All right, DB Viewer, Table Plus. Let me think a little bit. What other things we need to talk about this? Well, browser, if I'm honest, right? Browser, which I use Google Chrome. Well, do I use Google Chrome? I mean, I'm always switching. I think I'm going to just type this. Firefox and Chrome. That's what I use literally almost all the time. I never use Safari for anything. The only reason I use Safari is for streaming, literally, okay? I obviously don't want you guys to see my browse history on stream. So for that reason, I just use Safari, which has my streaming history. Brave? What is Brave? Like, you guys know so many shit. It's kind of crazy. Brave browser. Oh, interesting. Push the privacy situation first. Isn't this what Firefox is? Isn't the same thing as Firefox? Is the Firefox wrapper, which is a good question. Firefox Edge on Linux. Interesting. What do you mean Edge? Like Microsoft Edge? It's Chromium Brave. Got you. Got you. By the way, chat, don't forget, if you just arrived, go all the way down and click like on this video, okay? Everyone on Twitch, super important. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel and put like on my videos and live streams, okay? Insanely important. No build on Chromium. Interesting, okay. Yeah, but I'm using Firefox and Chrome. Mainly Firefox for my stuff. Let's be honest here. Firefox for my stuff, and I use Chrome for Laravel stuff. Okay, so basically, on Laravel, I have my Laravel email, like my Laravel shit, basically, and for that I use Chrome, okay? So Firefox for my own stuff, let's call it that. Let's put it that way. Legal Dom is saying, I'm waiting to try Laravel Cloud. I didn't receive my verification code. You should reach support about that, dude. Dude, Microsoft Edge on Linux, that's insane, dude. Okay, browser, Firefox, and Chrome. What other stuff are we missing locally, okay? Which tools? Let me just double check my... Oh my god, yeah. I have so many stuff here. Ghostly ChatGPT, Sublime Text. Do I want to talk? No, I don't want to talk about this. What else? Give me a moment, chat. I'm going to literally check all my tools I'm using locally at the minute. By the way, chat, if you think we are missing something, write on the chat. We need to talk about that. So at the minute, we are just in local development tooling, okay? Well, we can talk about the Git provider almost. Is that I think, yeah, Git provider. I'm using GitHub. Let's just do the following. Is anyone not using GitHub here? Is anyone not using GitHub? If yes, what are you even using? Because... even though GitHub, I'm going to be honest, GitHub was down again today, which is kind of insane. Bitbucket for work. Oh my god, I'm sorry, dude. GitLab. I've heard stories that GitLab is good. I heard stories that GitLab is good. Yep. Yeah, but GitHub for personal, yeah, I feel like GitHub, even though like it was fucking down for like most of the time in the last 90 days, I think it's still like the best and it will continue to be the best. There's also like this nostalgia, like I've been working with GitHub since I can remember. And when I'm actually very loyal to my tooling. I don't know if you guys are, but I am very, very loyal to my tooling. Like, most of the tools here, I can promise you, I will very likely to stay with them forever. Okay, so PHP Storm I've been using forever. Sublime Text I've been using forever. Ghostly, it took me a while, man, because I was a big iTerm 2 user, and I was an iTerm 2 user since the last 15 years. And, the only reason why I've changed to Ghostly is because it just looks like iTerm 2. It feels like the same almost, okay? No changes whatsoever. Table Plus, which kind of the same thing. SQLace is kind of the same thing as Table Plus. And GitHub is kind of, I will never change from GitHub, I think. Unless they are just all the time down. Local serving. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which let's just say, let's type here environment, okay? So here, what kind of thing is Laravel herd? What kind of classification Laravel herd is called local environment? Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, environment. Let's just classify this under environment. I'm using Laravel herd to literally serve all my stuff. I was using Docker. I'm going to be honest with you. I've tried Docker multiple times, okay? Multiple times. And a bunch of you will say, if Docker didn't work out for you, that's your problem because you obviously have a problem. I'm going to be honest, man. I was using Laravel Valet before. After Laravel Valet, I've tried Laravel herd, which is in the same philosophy, really just works. And I have moved a little bit into other stuff in the process, like trying Docker. And then I tried Docker again. And I always get disappointed by how unstable Docker is. It's slow. Even though on macOS they have developed now this solution which works fast, that it's just, there is always something literally, And maybe I can expand on the details one day, but I just get disappointed all the time with Docker. A lot of you saying, okay, let's see what people are saying. Keith is saying Laracon. You meant Laragon, I think. Champ, herd, and Docker. Okay. Yep. A lot of people using Sail, which is interesting. Some of you using Docker. The thing about herd is exactly what Luis Cruz is saying. Laravel herd just works. Exactly. It just fucking works, Laravel herd, you want a database, you just go there and you just create one. Bam, it's working forever. You don't have to fucking do anything. It just works. It's updated. It just literally works. You want PHP, you want a PHP version which is not there, you just do this and bam, it's just working forever. And I feel like with Docker, you can also accomplish this. You probably can accomplish way more than that, but it just, feels flaky to me almost, So I'm using herd. I'm using the paid version of herd. It's worth to say. So I have email faking over there. I have emails, I have queues, I have reverb, I have caching, I have queuing, I have databases, so pretty much everything, okay? And we are going to talk about some of these drivers on the production box right here on the bottom right. Okay. So I kind of think for some of you who are using Docker, try Laravel herd for a little bit, just a little bit, and let me know what you think, okay? Docker is the only place where I've managed to get Xdebug working. You see, that's another example. On herd, Xdebug just works. Easy peasy, no discussion whatsoever, okay? Just works over there. Docker is the GOAT. Yeah, I get you. We are going to always get a 50-50 here on stream about Docker and Laravel herd. But, just sharing you my honest opinion about it. And I have projects, let me just clarify something. I have projects, including at Laravel, where Docker is the environment used. Okay, so I'm not using Laravel herd all the time. This is more like if I had to start something from scratch right now, I would use Laravel herd. Okay? What do I use for debug? That's a great question. Do you want to start literally World War III on my stream? Just watch this. Which thing are you using for debug? Are you using Xdebug or are you using DD and console log? Okay. Just type Xdebug or DD. We're going to start World War III right here. Like literally everyone DT. Come on, nobody uses Xdebug. Someone must be using Xdebug a little bit. Xdebug, here we go. The very first Xdebug on the chat. Xdebug is very good, just not my cup of tea, if I'm honest, okay? Oh, I see a Ray here, a Ray user. That's awesome. Most people using DD, which is awesome. I'm a DD myself user. I use DD all the time. For debug, I think it just works, okay? I'm going to just type here DD in console log, literally, because it really depends on the language. And we also have JavaScript on our stack, at least on my stack. Your first pull request was disabling Xdebug. You crazy, dude. You crazy. All right, Shad. For local development, are we missing something? I think I want to discuss a little bit communication tooling, okay? Communication. Like, how do you communicate with your colleagues? For me, like, Slack is the GOAT. Slack, Telegram, period. Okay? Slack at Laravel, Telegram, if I'm not on Laravel, if I want to communicate with a past team or whatever, that's Telegram, okay? So Slack, Telegram, and that's it. That's the communication stuff I use, literally. Microsoft Teams, Jesus Christ. Didn't you have the worst option? Like, this is literally the worst ever. Teams? Why would you guys use Teams? Like, I'm so confused right now. Why would anyone use Microsoft Teams? Like, what is the real reason behind? I would quit before Laravel uses Microsoft Teams. Oh, it's corporate stuff? Oh, I feel you. Live is Code is saying Telegram, Teams, Slack. Oh, yeah, baby. Emid is saying Telegram and Teams. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. WhatsApp, Discord, Teams. Interesting. It's corporate. Discord. That's the very first time we will hear Discord here, which is awesome. Discord I use for gaming, okay? And I'm going to be honest, I use Discord for gaming, WhatsApp for friends and family, Telegram for geek friends, you know, like GitHub community, open source stuff, Slack for work. That's it. It actually works? Okay, well, you know, I have a very bad perception about Microsoft, but maybe like I should just change. 100%. All right, Shad, are we missing anything on local dev? Otherwise, we are going to move to the backend thing, okay? I think we are not missing anything, but you guys let me know. How about to-do list? Good question. Well, I don't know if it's a good question. Maybe it's a good question. Well, we have Slack, Telegram, and what else do I use for? I don't use. I mean, for to-do lists, I use GitHub. If I'm honest, you know, I don't even know if it's a discussion worth to have. But for to-do lists, I just use GitHub all the time. Like GitHub issues, GitHub pull requests, and then Slack for async communication, and that's it. What's up, Zorro? Welcome to the live stream, dude. Nice to see you, man. All right, Chet, we are closing the local development tools. I think this is enough for now. We maybe go back into this if we have to, okay? Next. The next stuff to talk about is backend, okay? Okay. And starting, I guess, with a language, backend language, and I think, like, this will be common sense here. PHP, I guess, because just everyone uses PHP here on my stream, I think. But if any of you doesn't use PHP, let me know. I'm literally curious to understand a little bit your opinion on this topic. Oh, man, I have a beautiful Monday, man. Thank you. PHP gets closed. So good. I had a beautiful Monday, man. Went to the gym, feeling strong. I love it. PHP and Go, I think that's actually a very good stack and a very good combo. Vue in React, that's the front-end story, all right? Not actually the back-end story. We're going to jump into that in a second. I end up using Node every now and then, if I'm honest. I don't use Node for my web solution, but I often end up using Node for a small microservice here and there. For even the other day, I needed a microservice to take screenshots, and I end up using Node for that. So, even sometimes I use Node. So here I think I'm gonna just put here PHP and in Node, because sometimes I do use Node. Yeah, that's a good point. Asan is saying I PHP and I fall back to Node.js. Let's actually have that. Fall back to Node.js. So if I cannot do something with PHP, I just go to Node.js. That's a very good point, and I think it's a great way of putting it. C#? Yeah, I don't use C# that often. Well, ever, really. Code clean, I don't use it either. I've used Python, I've used Go. Yep. Go is good. Actually, I'm very familiar with Go code at Laravel. Replace Node with Bun. Well, if I'm honest with you, I use Bun in various situations, like compiling my front-end assets, for example. But if I'm honest, for actual production code, I still just use Node. I don't use Bun. Yeah, it's not a language though. That's a good point. So let's just fall back to JavaScript, and then let's put here Node. Okay, fall back to JavaScript Node. Okay, let's actually have that. Okay. All right, framework. And here we go. I think case closed as well. We go with Laravel chat. What do you guys think? I think it's just common sense, right? But let me know what you think. For those of you who are using... Oh, very good point from Live's code. Fall back to TypeScript, not JavaScript. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Laravel, I use Laravel as a framework. I have countless times explained to people why do I use Laravel. I use Laravel because it's a batteries included framework. It really just works. A huge ecosystem of app packages, everything, literally. And but yeah, some people here using Symfony, which is interesting. Some people using Nuxt. Nuxt is a backend language, though. It's a front-end meta framework, actually. So using E2, oh man, E2 is not in a good spot at the minute, in my opinion. Laravel 0, that's a CLI stuff, but yeah, I feel you. But yeah, Laravel case closed, I think, this sense, Rails at the minute, okay. Rails is a very good option. By the way, chat, if any of you is using Ruby or likes Ruby, Rails is a great alternative to Laravel. Okay, it really just works, honestly. Okay, let me double check my tweet, because on my tweet I had a bunch of backend stuff, I think. Oh my god, can I see it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, for backend, that's the only thing I had? Oh my god, really? So here I think I'm going to just do application, basically. Maybe? Well, we can talk about actual backend tooling and things like that, but should we do it? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here real quick is, I think I'm going to have, this section will be called application, basically. Okay. Application, and this will be but then I have backend and frontend will just be a fucking nightmare. Yeah, let's not do that actually. Let's actually move here to the frontend already, and then we may go back to the backend. Okay, chat? Like this. Database, that's a very good point. Database probably should be here. Yep. Database, that's a good point. Let's actually talk about that on this section. So this will be frontend. All right, framework Laravel, database. Yep, database. What are you guys using as database? I'm using PGSQL. I think Postgres in 2026 is undeniably the best database solution out there. Now, I want to make a small disclaimer here, okay? I love SQLite, okay? If I'm brutally honest with you, before Laravel Cloud, I was using SQLite all the time. there is a reason why I was using SQLite. It's because it's fucking simple, like stupidly simple. Okay. Now, using something stupidly simple works for 99% of the times you are developing apps. Now, there is one little thing, which is Laravel Cloud literally changed the game here because it's actually super easy to just have a database there in Postgres SQLite. And now with Laravel Herd, you can have that database locally too. So for that reason, I'm like just using Postgres all the time because it's production ready and it really just works. Okay. Now, one thing here, for those of you who are using two different database drivers, I must give you a warning. It's not a good idea to use different database drivers locally and in production. Okay. You may actually face differences. There is notable differences between SQLite and Postgres, okay? So if you are using SQLite locally and you are using PGSQL in production, you may have your test suite passing locally, but then the exact code won't work in production. So you want to make sure you use the same database either locally or in production. It needs to be the same. Okay, can we just agree on this? Type yes if we agree. Type W Nuno if you guys agree with me, okay? So we can just agree with this part and just move forward, okay? This is important. Very, very important, actually. Regardless of the driver you use, you need to be using the same locally and in production, okay? Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Now, to clarify a little bit my choice. So last year, we made this exact list, and I was literally telling you guys need to take a close group to SQLite, because SQLite is so powerful, it can just do whatever. Now, things changed a little bit, okay? Before, when I was telling you to use SQLite, I was using Laravel Forge for my apps, So I felt, in my opinion, it still is, like if you are using a setup with a DigitalOcean droplet, like if you are using like a single machine kind of thing with DigitalOcean or with Etzner or whatever, I still think probably SQLite is your best option, okay? Now, if you are using a cloud setup with Laravel Cloud, PGSQL probably just works better this way, okay? Now, both will be great, honestly. For most of the apps, both will be fantastic, okay? Now, there is also another topic which is very interesting and we must talk about. I don't know how many of you are doing vector searching at the minute, but with AI coming more and more, vector searching, it's important to have in your databases. And the last time I checked, SQLite demanded some sort of extension to have vector searching working, and PGSQL just had that by default, if I'm not mistaken, which is worth to talk about, okay? Dinosaurs DB says that he write tests for both DB drivers. Oh my God, you're going crazy. Oh, great point from Bleach Cruza. Indexes work differently depending on your drivers. One more reason why you should use just always the same. That's it. Okay. So that's what I'm using for databases, PGSQL, just for the win. Okay. Postgres, SQL. Let's actually write the full thing. Okay. Let's go here. Postgres. Just have the full thing. PostgreSQL. By the way, PGSQL is kind of the way I used to call this. How about databases, chat? How about caching? I'm sorry. Which driver are you using at the minute for your production applications? My opinion didn't change. Okay, I'm still a huge lover and believer of Redis. I think Redis is still the best option. But you guys let me know what you think. Yeah, Redis, I think, like, it's still the GOAT, honestly, on this scenario. It's still the GOAT, honestly. Most people on YouTube saying Redis. Same goes with Twitter. Dragonfly? What is Dragonfly? I'm always learning on this live stream, so it's honestly so good. Dragonfly. That looks like a movie. Yeah, exactly. Dragonfly cache. Is that a thing? Modern replacement for Redis. Well, apparently it is a thing. Yeah, a huge reason why I'm using also Postgres is because the logo is an elephant. Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Okay, so I think Redis is like my option for this kind of stuff. Okay, Redis for the win. How about mailing, chat? How about mailing? Which mailing provider are you using at the minute? It's actually a very good question, chat, because I'm always changing. I am emailing provider. I'm literally changing all the time. Well, mailing is the only thing you are authorized to use, like a local solution, which is different from the production one. A lot of people using Resend, Mailtrap, Resend, Mailtrap. Interesting. SendGrid, interesting. SMTP. What do you mean by SMTP, Shed? Like, what exactly do you mean by SMTP? What kind of email, what kind of driver that uses behind the scenes? It's not your own thing, I believe, right? A lot of people using Resend. That's crazy. Huh? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Some people, I'm actually just going to voice over this. Some people on my stream are saying that for the email driver solution, they are using PHP Mailer and Mailtrap. How exactly that works out? Because typically I'm using something like Mailtrap and anything like that. So how exactly do people set up like mailing on their own servers? Does that even work? Let me see what ChatGPT have to say about this. Like, because I think you guys are just crazy. Yeah, I currently have a project using Freak is email solution, which I forgot the name, but I know he's using Amazon behind the scenes. I have a project using Mailgun. I have another project using Mailtrap. And it's kind of insane. Like I have so many, like every Mail Coach, exactly. That's what I'm using on Pinkery, for example. Pinkery uses Mail Coach. And it just works, if I'm honest. Okay, let's see. Yep. SMTP. Yeah, but I think you guys are just using your own stuff. They're not using this directly, are you? Yeah. Oh my God. This is what people used to do back in the days. This used to be so problematic, honestly. I remember like self-hosting one, like once in the project, we had this sort of self-hosted MCP server. It was such a fucking nightmare because stuff won't be delivered. We had to manage our own blacklist. It was such a, it was so bad. It was just so bad, honestly. So I think this, if any of you is using this shit, it just, it looks crazy to me. Okay. I think here, obviously it depends on the project. A lot of people probably wouldn't use MailCoach, but for my own stuff, I'm going to just say MailCoach. MailCoach is working in Pinkery, it's working on Past PHP, it's working in pretty much everything I'm using at the minute. It's not expensive, and I'm going to just say MailCoach. By the way, if you don't know MailCoach, is this email solution by Spassy, okay? Okay, MailCoach. MailCoach.app. That's what I'm using. So I'm using their own MailCoach implementation, okay? I'm not using my own. Okay? But locally, Laravel Herd allows me to see the emails. So that just works, okay? Now, for queuing, here you guys are going to kill me on this one, okay? You guys are probably going to kill me on this one. Which database, which queue driver are you using for queuing and stuff like that on Laravel? You guys are going to absolutely kill me for this. I'm using the database like almost in 99% of the times. Database for queuing just fucking works greatly. Plus, you have like a huge history track of everything. Yeah, it just works. Just absolutely 100% works. Plus, easy for debugging. Use SQS. There is nothing easy on SQS. There is a bunch of limitations on SQS. I don't like using SQS for queues. So many limitations. None of them exist with databases. RabbitMQ is good, by the way. RabbitMQ is good, supported in Laravel, but it is good though. It is 100% sure good, but you know, Redis, I thought it was recommended by default. Well, you can use Redis. I still believe you should be using databases. Just works best, like for the default cases. But Redis is good too. Okay, I would default for databases. If databases start struggling a little bit, I would fall back to Redis. That's what I would do. There is a bunch of issues in SQS, starting with the payload, which cannot be X amount of size, starting with the delivery, it needs to be on the next 15 minutes. There's so many little things on SQS that you may not actually, account for. So problematic, SQS. At least with Laravel, of course, For the Laravel things you are used to, Although the throughput of SQS is undeniably better, okay? But again, not every single application needs that. Okay, chat. By the way, chat, I hope you guys are enjoying. SQS is you must, exactly. I hope you guys are enjoying today's live stream. We are going to talk about backend, frontend, and the entire story still today. Make sure to go all the way down and click like on this video if you're having fun, okay? Subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I have videos about everything in the between in the Laravel world. I love it, okay? We need a Laravel cloud tech stack. That's pretty much this, honestly. Oh, the Laravel cloud tech stack? Well, that's not this. But there is a bunch of stuff that I have, had my hand on. So, but yeah, Yep. Okay. All right, we talked about databases, caches, mails, queues. How about logs, chat? This is actually a very good point. How about logs at the minute? Which logging stuff are you using at the minute? I have my own opinion, especially now with Nightwatch. Just Nightwatch, okay? Nightwatch is just working fantastically for logs. It's just a beast when it comes to logging stuff, okay? I love Nightwatch, chat. What about you guys? What are you guys using? Laravel log. Luis Cruz, wait a second. I'm talking about production logs. Wait, unless you are using for production, Laravel.log too. Which is not a good idea. CloudWatch, I'm so sorry, dude. CloudWatch is the worst UI I have ever worked in my entire life. Hands down. Sentry is good as well, indeed. But yeah, for Laravel, Nightwatch is just so much better than anything else at the minute. And I work at Laravel, but still, it's just on the front of your eyes at the same time. You guys can see like so many stuff there. Elastic, interesting. Database log, I'm not sure if that is a good idea, but yeah. Some of you using Flare, which is a product that existed prior to Nightwatch 2. Your logs are sent on Discord. That's insane. Grafana, very good option. So Nightwatch would be for Laravel apps. For everything else, I would default to Grafana actually. Okay, so Nightwatch for application web logs basically, and then anything else, Grafana, 100%. Grafana is just the goat. Even for querying stuff, Grafana is just the best one. Datadog, it's been a while since the last time I heard that. Datadog is expensive as fuck. Or used to be expensive. All right, chat. This is it for logs. What are we missing? What are we missing though? So we have database, cache, mailing, queuing, logs. What else are we missing, chat? In terms of drivers, in terms of production, well, in terms of backend stuff, literally, okay? Backend stuff, okay? Search, good point. How about search, chat? Socket stuff, 100%. Socket stuff, yeah, 100%. Yep. Let's call here WS, just WebSocket, okay? Storage, 100%. Storage. What else? Web servers, notifications. Well, what do you mean notifications? Vite, that's the front-end story. Image repositories, nah. I think like this should just come here, basically. Front end. And then we just have a new section here, call it deployment at the very end. Oops. Oh my God. Here we go. This goes here. This stuff and this stuff goes here. This gets this size. This gets very, 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 very small. Here we go. Okay, let's see what we have. Sessions, good point. Good point, brother. Very good point. Sessions. What else are we missing? Tests, well, yeah, I think like if we go down that path of testing, then we talk about typing and then we just talk about like PHP stuff. And I really wanted to focus on high level decisions here, okay? We talked already about Docker, okay? That's on the environment section, which I use Laravel Herd. Hosting, that's a good point. So let's actually have here hosting deployment, which is kind of the same thing. Let's just have hosting at the very end, okay? Which I think you guys know the answer, at least my answer. But I want to hear your answer as well. All right, I think here is good. Let's start talking about sessions, okay? Now, I'm going to be very, very controversial on the sessions driver, okay? And we talk about sessions, we're talking about authentication sessions. You know, every single time someone logs in, where that session persists, basically, okay? I'm going to be highly, highly controversial on this one, but I use databases as well, okay? I use databases. I think using database for sessions is just fine. Plus gives you a bunch of visibility on how many users are actually logged in and when their token session will expire and everything. I think it's just lovely. A lot of you using Redis, which I also think is a great solution. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Chad. There is a reason why I choose database for everything. It's because on caching, if I'm truly honest, I use databases and I fall back to Redis when I cannot do anything else. And here I need to fix this. And I typically try to delay as much as possible the usage of Redis so I can just use database for everything. And once I need to just fall back to other stuff, I start using other stuff. But typically, like, everything goes to database, Pinkery. Now, you guys will say, oh, you crazy, you don't know what you're saying. Dude, this social media, it's still running on everything on the database. Queues on databases, sessions on databases, caching on databases, SQLite for everything, okay? So typically, I like to default to database on all my drivers until I cannot, okay? And so for that reason, sessions are going to use the database in my opinion. And once I cannot use databases, I will fall back to Redis as well. Typically, this happens when the database starts struggling a little bit with the amount of traffic, which is something that will take a while, Will take the amount of time to my product to be successful, I guess. A lot of you saying Redis, which is very interesting. Well, if my database is struggling, that's a good sign. It means that my product is being successful. How about storage, chat? Which database on storage you guys are using? I have the feeling that everyone will answer the same stuff here. But let me know which database storage driver are you guys using at the minute. Yep, I already see some answers here. What are you guys using for the storage, chat? Yep, S3. S3 is probably the best thing that R2, by the way, chat, R2 is also S3, I think. Let me know if I'm mistaken here, but I think R2, it's equally S3. It's equally S3, or I'm mistaken. Let me know, right on the chat. I don't think I'm abusing my databases, like of using database driver. I'm using database driver for everything. I have never had a single problem, honestly. Good is saying the following. Welcome to the chat, by the way. I literally store images in files in Postgres too. That's interesting. That's something I wouldn't do, but we can discuss that in a second. It's S3 compatible. Okay, that's interesting. Same API. Okay, interesting. But it's Cloudflare. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, on storage, I would rely either on S3. Now with Laravel Cloud, probably R2. You know, let's put here R2 actually, because of Laravel Cloud. And R2 is awesome. S3, it's equally awesome if I'm honest. You know, S3 or R2. If you use any of these two, you are just good, literally. Okay. Yeah, welcome to the live stream, by the way. If you don't know me, my name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel lover. If you are enjoying today's content, don't forget, go all the way down, subscribe my channel. Also, put like on this video today. This is my beautiful YouTube channel. Yeah, Cloudflare is honestly one of my favorite products. I love Cloudflare. I think Cloudflare is fantastic. Okay. Okay. How about using local storage? What do you mean local storage? The actual physical server? That's not a good idea. No good, huh? No good. Using your web server for the actual local storage, I don't think it's a good idea. Ever, you know? And there is one reason why I don't think it's a good idea. It's also because the migration process is also very, very difficult to do. If you ever move from local storage to actually an S3, it just takes a little bit. It's not as easy as you may think it is. Now, there is one person on Twitch chat that is saying the following. I am storing all my files on my database. Now, isn't that problematic though? Because if you are storing some sizable thing, that will just fucking blow your database in terms of storage. What, don't you think? Just not reliable these days when it comes to Cloudflare. I know, dude. 100% sure feel you. Have you ever used GraphQL? Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me just put here a topic, which is GraphQL, because that's a topic by itself. Okay. I have experience with GraphQL, and it's literally a scam. But let's just not talk about that yet. Okay. No. There is no love on GraphQL. But let's wait. Oh my god. Okay, let's talk about dudes. My experience with GraphQL is the following. Okay, it's the following, and you guys can let me know what you guys think. But my experience with GraphQL is the following. I have never seen in my entire life an API with GraphQL that was fast and that worked. Okay, in my entire life. Even like GitHub is using GraphQL and other companies, just try to use those APIs for a bit and let me know what you think. It's just the worst thing in the entire planet. Not even talking about actually implementing one. It's just, in my opinion, GraphQL is a scam. But I don't know. You guys are better than me doing coding, so you guys let me know. Okay. You guys are better than me coding, so you guys let me know. Maybe I'm super confused and I have like bad experiences and whatever, but I don't know. That's what I think. What's up, Buddha Streams? How you doing? Okay, let's see what people are saying. Luis Cruz is saying the following. I can tell you that you are right. My work is API worked, but it was just slow as fuck. See, dude? Just a nightmare. Imperial is asking what we are doing here. Today we are developing all together here as a family the past 2026 development stack for developing like a product that will bring millions to us, okay? And we just discussed a few things like what is your local setup and, you know, what kind of things you use in your application and things like that. Okay, currently we are discussing a little bit how bad GraphQL is. That's what we are talking about. Yeah, so that is my opinion on GraphQL. I was kind of hoping that many of you have like experience with this, but yeah, it's just horrible stuff. Let's just remove this from the graph. So for storage, R2 or S3, both are fantastic. If you use one of them, you will be well served. How about Search Chat? Search is actually very good, you know. I think currently for searching, the best solution is the, oh shit, I forgot the name. Which was the one I used in my emails? Oh my God. Can anyone type the one I used in my emails? I literally forgot. TypeSense? Yeah, TypeSense. That's the one. TypeSense, 100%. TypeSense is my favorite at the minute. I think TypeSense is just, it just works, honestly. Plus, you can just fucking host it like so quickly on Forge, for example. Well, wait. Actually, I'm literally reading something on the chat, which is very interesting. Okay. If you think of search, you actually need to have a very big complex scenario to use TypeSense. No. We need to clarify this. Okay. All right. For search, I use the where like. I'm going to actually remove TypeSense. Okay. For search, where like works fantastically for 90% of the cases. Where like is just great for pretty much like everything almost. Okay? Can we just agree on this? That where like is just fantastic for most of the cases, and you would just fall back to something like TypeSense or Miley Search or or Algolia if you just actually need some sort of performance in your search and you were talking about bazillions of data. Okay? DB, yeah, exactly. DB is just perfect for searching. Even on Pinkery, 100%. This is a query. Like if you go here, if you search for stuff, let's search for a user or search for trending or whatever. All this stuff is using just database searching, like database likes, basically. Semantic searching, you can plus do that from the database. No. Even semantic searching or full text, that also works with the database. But you would just rely on other stuff if you actually need to. Okay? So if you are developing your own SaaS like for yourself, just use like where like and you're done. Okay. Even for vector searching, databases will still work for a while. Okay. Postgres supports vector searching. You can use just, Okay. So let's have here DB. I'm going to just have here search DB where like plus vector searching. I'm going to just have here DB, basically. And I'm going to just say fallback to TypeSense. TypeSense is very good, by the way, Shad. Elasticsearch, yep. That's also a good idea. Full text DB, interesting. Yeah, where like works for most of the scenarios. And finally, WebSockets. I don't know if I'm biased here, but I think since the release of Laravel Reverb, I'm just using Reverb all the time. What are you guys using for WebSockets at the minute? I'm just using literally Reverb all the time. Yeah, Reverb like hardcore. Reverb like hardcore. Since the release of Reverb, just Reverb. Period. I prefer server-sent events. What do you mean? Use Pusher. You should try Reverb because it's just literally the same. It's the same API of Pusher. When do you think it's WebSocket time? I actually like to develop my applications to be WebSocket-ish from the get-go. Okay, I may be like unbiased, but like when I code my Laravel actions, I like to have the events at the very end of those actions, which will fire triggered events for all the other users have like real-time applications. I actually think in 2026, it's just expected for you to deliver a real-time application all the time. That's what I think. Yeah, Reverb is just the goat at the minute. It's just so good. Chat, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, chat. Okay? It's time to talk about the big elephant in the room, which is Frontend. Okay? And I know about Frontend, there is a bunch of opinions. Everyone have a different opinion on this topic, and I feel you. But again, the most important thing is that those opinions come out of real world experiences. Okay? Okay. And if you guys are a big XYZ fan It's fine as long as you had like a real world experience where things went well and you had like a successful project and it really just works. But chill out for a second, okay? Just chill. Oh my god, everyone is just going crazy already, which is so good. All right, let's see what do we have here. Okay? So a bunch of people talking about Livewire, Blade, View, Inertia, View, Inertia, Filament, Vite, View, Inertia, Tailwind, Inertia, View, Inertia, View. You guys are big View people. That's crazy. Some React as well. Okay, jQuery. Okay, I don't think jQuery will be entering here today, but yep. It depends. Okay, you depends hat. Okay, I see. Inertia React. Okay, Chatcn in Vue. Okay, you're going even further than the actual just framework thing. Okay, so let's start with that, like a front-end framework. Okay, front-end framework. Let's see what we have. Yeah, this is so tough, man. For me, as a Laravel core team member, it's so tough to have to choose between Livewire and Inertia to begin with. Not even going for the Vue React discussion, because that's another story. But let's start with Livewire and Vue and Inertia. Okay, that discussion is tough. Okay, so it really depends on the project I am developing. If I am developing like something stupidly simple, I think like at the minute I would default for things like Alpine.js, even fucking jQuery probably would do the job, okay? But that would have to be something really simple, like literally a landing page, where I just need some sort of markup and that's the end of the story. So now, if I'm developing a project where the scope will be me, probably another person, and it's something like kind of still small-ish, not in the size of Laravel Cloud, I would go for Livewire. Okay, so Livewire, let's just type here Livewire for small projects. Okay, yeah, I think I want to type this. Livewire for small projects. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh shit, what's happening? Oh, here we go. So Livewire for small projects. However, for medium and would rely on Inertia. Okay, don't kill me yet. Don't kill me. Okay, so for mid and large projects, I would rely on Inertia. Now you may question like, what is a mid and large project? In my opinion, is a project that I've foreseen like a big development on it. It's a product that can be potentially just me, but I've foreseen like a huge future development on it, something that will last for years, for example, and potentially something that have like a team on it. Okay. So on the Inertia topic, that is obviously the framework you are going to use. And in my opinion, and I know you are always, you guys are Vue people, but I would choose React. Okay. Now, one question that you may have is, why React? Now, before AI, I was already choosing React for my stuff. And the reason why I'm choosing React for my stuff, it's because the market on React is just big, okay? If you want to find a lot of a React person, you can just find it like in just snapping your fingers, okay? But also like the ecosystem around React is just so big at the minute. Like you can literally just find a React library that does everything, okay? There is such a big ecosystem, a big community as well, of course, around React. React is just too big to not choose React. That's the end of the story, okay? Especially like if I'm developing, like let's talk for example about Laravel Cloud, okay? So early on Laravel Cloud, we had to choose like, something for the front end. And I'm developing something where potentially will be like a lot of money being invested on, like, a lot of people will be joining the company. And it's not a question of what do you prefer, but more of a question like what exactly will just ensure this project will just last forever and will continue to have people working on it forever and will be continuing to be modern forever. And React will stay forever, like literally. It's just everywhere at the minute. Like, I don't think there will be another front-end framework in the next decade. I think React literally, it's the framework for the next 10 years and every single thing will be developing, it will be just using React, okay? Now, one thing which is also worth to mention is the following. especially now with AI, and you guys cannot say that, you guys cannot deny this, AI is just so strong doing React code. Have you guys seen that? Like Cloud Code Opus 4.6 is just so strong using React at the minute. Like literally AI is a fucking beast doing React. So now if we have enough reasons, now we have even more reasons. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, honestly. Live is code. Who uses Angular? Oh man, I don't use Angular, and I probably will never use Angular. Not for a particular reason, really. It's just because there would be a lot of things I would try first before Angular. TenStack, I don't use TenStack. Even though, I've heard... Does anyone have tried TenStack before? If yes, type yes on the chat. I'm curious to hear about your opinions. I have never tried TenStack because I just don't feel the need of trying TenStack. Like, I have a very good stack that works for me. And so I don't think I am trying anything else unless I feel that I have the reason to. Joe Teco is saying the following: we have converted all the Flux components to Vue to be used in Inertia.js using Reka UI and class variant authority. We outgrew Livewire and we needed Inertia.js. We love it Flux UI Pro and its structure. Interesting. You agree with the AI part? Thank you. GTS Mag is saying the following: Angular better for enterprise solutions paired with Spring Boot and .NET heavy stuff. Yeah, I believe, like, I have never tried Spring Boot or .NET, but I'm pretty sure there's a strong community there, and they have solutions for, authentication, mailing, and everything. Off topic, do you have personal dot files? I have my own dot file, but it's not big. It's just small. Agent is saying Livewire for life. Livewire for life, which I don't know if it's a pun intended, but it's a fun one. So chat, apologize. Yeah, this will be Livewire for small stuff, Inertia for mid and large stuff. Inertia and React, okay? It's what I think. Now, I think, like, in terms of language, chat, can we just agree that obviously you will be using PHP if you are on Livewire and TypeScript or if you are using React? Can we just agree that TypeScript just won the war in terms of TypeScript versus JavaScript story, and all of us are doing TypeScript if we were to touch on JavaScript ever? Can we just agree on this one? I think we agree on this one, but let me know on the chat. I want to hear from you. By the way, chat, more than 100 people watching the live stream, so go all the way down and put like on this video. Like, it's insanely important to have this live stream recommended to other people as well. That's the way if you can support my work, literally, okay? CSS framework? Oh yeah, we are going to jump into that in a second. 100%. Melok is saying TypeScript is a must with AI nowadays. You know what? I also think that, but there is some people who think that typed systems are not actually very good with AI at the minute. So, but I love TypeScript. I love Wayfinder, exactly. Wayfinder, all that type safety is just so good. Same goes with a PHP stand on the back end, Is a crime to choose PHP? Why would you say that? All right, so language for the front end, PHP if you are on Livewire, TypeScript if you are on the front end, okay? Shed, I'm going to be like, I apologize, but I'm going to literally just have here Inertia and React. Just for the sake of choosing one, okay? I have to choose one, so I'm going to just say Inertia and React and TypeScript as a language. I hope you guys understand this, okay? All right? So language, TypeScript, and that's the end of the story, in my opinion. How about CSS? Okay, how about CSS? I know that a bunch of you guys, and here we can have, we obviously have a bunch of opinions on here too. But CSS, I have literally learned my way through CSS using Tailwind CSS, and I generally don't understand why anyone would use anything different than Tailwind CSS. But I don't know. Maybe I'm like just fucking confused, honestly. I know that a lot of people don't like CSS though. Don't like Tailwind CSS, apologize. I know that a lot of people don't like Tailwind CSS. I'm a big believer on Tailwind CSS, honestly. I love it. Yeah, a lot of people. That's what people say. Like Tailwind CSS seems to be bloated. I don't get it. Like why? I never felt bloated to me. Especially now with AI. Like AI can literally handcraft Tailwind CSS components from Figma, just in a literally perfect way. Just by the way, if your full job, like if your 9 to 5 job was converting Figma to Tailwind CSS, that job is over. Literally, I connect the Figma MCP to my Laravel project. I say implement this exact Figma design on my Tailwind CSS code, and it just fucking one shots that. Okay, like it really just works. 100% sure Tailwind is so much nicer. I feel, yeah, for me it's just undeniable, basically. Have you tried jQuery 4? I don't feel the need of trying jQuery 4. Okay. So for CSS, let's just type here styling, okay? Styling will be Tailwind CSS, so framework, inertia in React, language TypeScript, styling, Tailwind CSS. How about bundling, chat? Bundling. How do I even type bundling? Oh my god. Bumbling? JavaScript bundling. Oh? How do I even type this? Bundling. Can someone help me out? You guys are telling bundling. How is it called? Oh, here we go. Thank you. Bundling. Here we go. Thank you. Let me just close this off. All right, chat. How about bundling? Okay, let's see what we have. We have people using Turbo Pack, people using Vite Plus, Vite Plus, Bun.js, Vite, okay. Roll down is the best. I'm not sure about that. I'm a Vite guy. Yeah, exactly. Everyone typing Vite. Yeah, I'm a Vite guy as well. Bundling is Vite all the way down. Yeah, Vite is becoming the standard, and it's probably the very first thing that JavaScript people actually got right. Thank God Vite is becoming a standard. I think the only framework that is not using Vite at the minute is probably like Next. It's the only one at the minute. And now with Vite Plus, we can even leverage more, you know? So let's just type here. Let's type, this is bundling, but let's type here bundling and tooling or whatever, you know, just Vite Plus. Let's just acknowledge this, and now Vite Plus. You change the Laravel template to use bun. Yeah, it's using bun, but with Vite. It's equally using Vite. Will Laravel 13 have Vite Plus by default? I don't think that's happening in the next day or two. We'll take a while. Do you use any of your past browser testing tools in your stack? What do you mean? So obviously use, you know, Playwright with past browser testing. I also use the MCP of Playwright, which is actually a very good thing to talk about here real quick. I think like this is common sense on local development tools, but like, you know, with AI tooling, for example, I think like we are using skills, obviously, right? We are using MCPs. And here, let's just type here AI MCPs, because actually this is a very good point. Like, which MCPs are you guys using like locally at the minute? So I'm going to tell you like a few of them. I'm using Playwright MCP. This is like the most productive thing I have ever found so far, because you can literally, instruct AI that they can interact with your browser and just go to your app and do things in your behalf, which is insanely powerful. I know that Next, Next now have Vercel actually have this agent situation stuff, which equally gives you this. Okay. Okay. Playwright is super powerful. Figma MCP as well. Figma MCP, what else I'm using? Obviously, like, all the boost situation, all the boost MCP tooling, like all that stuff really just works. You too broke to use MCPs? What do you mean? They are just for free. What is Context 7? Like, people are typing Context 7. What is that? Is that like something? I don't even know. Context 7 MCP. Interesting. Up-to-date documentation for LLMs and AI. I need to try this out. Does this have like past PHP? Oh, it does. That's insane. This is very interesting. Similar to Boost Docs. Yeah, but Boost only have access to Boost Docs, like This is why people are not visiting documentation websites anymore. I mean, dude, the last time, I don't know what you guys think, but I cannot remember the last time I've watched a video, like a tutorial video. Do you guys still watch tutorial videos? The last time I watched a tutorial video was fucking months ago. I just don't do it anymore. And I used to do it, like just going to a video and actually watch it, like from the start to the end. I just don't do it ever. Not talking about reading docs. Like, reading docs is literally something I don't do for the last 12 months. I cannot even rate it, I feel like documentation in general is just over because first of all, I cannot read. Like, I literally cannot read more than 2 paragraphs. I have just trouble reading it. Like, I cannot focus. Literally, my head goes elsewhere, and that's it. But also, like, with Cloud Code, you just don't have to anymore. Yeah. I literally need to go to the doctor to check this out because if I go here, for example, let's go to my website, okay? I have my website, which looks like this. I have posts and shit. I have like this thing. If I start reading, like this, after like 3 seconds, I am doing something else without even fucking knowing. It just happens like blink, So I started reading this thing. Suddenly, I am like on PHP Storm and on my terminal already. Like, and it's a fucking blank. Like, even though Laracas is obviously the GOAT. Yeah, we know that. So the only videos I'm able to watch at the minute are the ones that are gamified. That's literally what my YouTube channel is, and will become even more, honestly. Okay? It will become even more. My YouTube channel, like, once my brother starts, like, literally doing stuff with me, my YouTube channel will be just about gamification. Like, we are going to gamify programming so hard, man. Like, with live streaming and going to a villa with a barbecue and a pool on the back and just try to do an app in, like, 48 hours, sleeping on a couch while I'm live streaming at the same time. Well, we are going to do so much stuff, man. It will be so fun. Anyways. Back to the setup sub. Building, bundling, and tooling Vite Plus. I think this is common sense, and I think Vite Plus is becoming the standard, and it's actually a good standard. So I'm happy with this. Beer, dark or light? I like light beer, even though I'm drinking less and less. I'm drinking like almost nothing at this point. Let me tell you, in 2026, I had alcohol 3 times. That was it. And I'm trying to quit as much as possible. Alcohol is no good for you, man. I'm going to tell you, okay? Culturally, I have a very hard time not having a beer because all Portugal works like that, basically, okay? All my friends from school, all my buddies works like we talk like that. Like culturally, we talk over a beer, literally. So it's very hard to avoid those situations. But I'm having less and less, and hopefully, it's just tough. Anyways, very very tough. All right, bundling, tooling, Vite Plus. What else have we talked? We have to talk about front end, chat. Can you foresee anything else we should talk about regarding front end? I don't want to dive into some details like testing and shit like that, or tooling, even though we could, but I don't think we should. I want to keep it like stupidly simple. Okay. Well, you know what? We can talk about package management real quick. I mean, in PHP is obvious, like you use Composer, that's the only one that exists. Let's put here package management. And I want to hear what you guys are using at the minute. I'm using Bun. Bun is like my go-to at the minute. Was Vue once your primary choice? I don't think it ever was, honestly. UI library, that's a good point. Even though I think you guys know my option already. NPM. All right, you guys, NPM folks, you guys need to absolutely. Stream is down. Hopefully it's not down. Is the stream working for everyone? Say yes, it's working. Say yes, it's working. And if, again, chat, if the stream is ever to be down, just type F on the chat. That's the important thing, okay? Stream okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, for those of you who have answered NPM because it just works, let me tell you something. Bun equally just works, and it's like a fucking 300 times faster, okay? You can safely, and you have my word, it can safely change from NPM to Bun, and it will just work, okay? Will work fantastically. Now, I have heard stories that some people are using PNPM, which is also good, but Bun, in my opinion, at the minute, is just the GOAT at the minute, okay? So I'm going to select Bun here. What should we do to migrate from NPM to Bun? That's the thing. It just fucking takes no time whatsoever, you know? You just type Bun install or whatever, and it just works. And you are by the way, let me just confirm this to you. Instead of having a package-lock.json, you are going to have a bun.lock, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just confirm that to you real quick. So I'm on this project. Let me type here bun install. And it's done. It's a bun.lock, exactly. That's the only different. So instead of having a package-lock.json, you are going to have a bun.lock. That's the only difference. It does the same stuff, okay? So you just come here, you type, you just, do the same stuff, basically. And it just works, literally. For linting and formatting, I think like Vite Plus will be my option for everything, literally. You have me sold? Dude, I probably should just do a video about that story. But I have compared it locally, NPM against Bun. I don't know if you guys remember, but like the results were outstanding. Bun was so much faster, like literally so much faster than NPM. Like so much faster. Really just works, okay? Try it out, man, honestly. All right, UI library, I think, I would be surprised if any of you is using other stuff, but for UI library, I'm using ShadCN, okay? ShadCN is my stuff, and really just works. Interesting, some people are using Flux Pro. That's interesting, because you are a Livewire person, so that makes sense. No UI library for you. That's actually a very solid option. ShadCN Vue, of course. Bun user. Vue user, yeah. Yeah, that is the reason why, ShadCN is so AI friendly, which literally helps a bunch, like on my option here. So ShadCN is, in my opinion, like just the best option so far. I love ShadCN, honestly. I think it's just great. Fast, just have the bunch of components. AI understands it like in the very good way. So I love ShadCN. Like looking at my project here, what other stuff can we talk about? Like TypeScript, obviously we have options like this. I think that's it. In terms of .m file, let me just double check something real quick. So sessions, broadcasting, file queues, cache, memcache, blah, 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 mailing, yep. So we talked about this. AI, we talked about that. Editors, we talked about that. Databases, I think that's it. Do you guys feel that we are missing something? Oh, we are 100% sure missing something, which is hosting, okay? Hosting, okay? So where does your web app live? I think like, totally biased because I have literally built a thing together with my team, but Laravel Cloud is, in my opinion, the best option for hosting. Laravel Cloud, it really just fucking works. It's not expensive. It just beautifully works, honestly. Yeah, that's the server story, okay? Hosting is the server story, and Laravel Cloud is really just fantastic for me at the minute. A bunch of you, still using Forge. Forge is still great, but I feel like Laravel Cloud is just more modern, Kubernetes, all that beautiful stuff. Using Etzner, okay. A lot of you are still using Forge, which is very interesting. But yeah, type on the chat which hosting provider are you using at the minute. I know that Etzner became big because of their pricing offer. They are literally not expensive. So I feel like a bunch of you originally probably tried Etzner because of that. Zoro using AWS, which is equally interesting. What are you using exactly on AWS? I assume you're not using Lambda, so I assume you're using probably just regular instances. Lambda with Breath, interesting. Dedicated server, yep, feel you. Oh, Stinger, wow. Developed by Josh is saying our biggest customers wanted serverless, so we were using Vapor. But yeah, but you can now use infinite scale with cloud, so probably we should just move there, exactly. What's up, Buffer? How you doing? Yeah, Shad, I understand why you guys are using Forge. Forge is fantastic. Indeed, it just works. But in my opinion, Laravel Cloud, for my stuff at least, that's the thing I will be using, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Let's say, as someone who is developing projects on weekends or after work at Laravel, I really want something that I don't spend a single minute on it. And so for that reason, I need a managed infrastructure, a fully managed infrastructure where I don't have to do a thing. And Laravel Cloud is the only place where I've found that so far. Just to give you the perspective, even on things like Pinkery, Pinkery.com, I have kind of had some downtime on Pinkery. So I had to just, restart a database, had to do some upgrades on the server. So all that stuff takes time. Time are hours, and hours are expensive. So I'm trying to just not do any of that. And for that reason, Laravel Cloud is the only thing offering me that, Plus, Laravel Cloud offers you hibernation and all that stuff, so you don't have to pay if you're not using it. So I just love all of that. All right, Shad, I think I'm done with my 2026 full review. Okay, I'm gonna probably do a video tomorrow with some of these options and probably justifying them a little bit better. But yeah, this is the recap I have here. So let's just do a little bit of zoom here, so you guys can see the entire story. How do I close that? Here we go. This is what I have at the minute, okay? Backend, PHP, Laravel, Postgres for pretty much everything like cache queuing sessions and search even. Then I rely on Redis for a few things, Logs NetWatch, storage R2 or S3, WebSockets Reverb. What else? Frontend, Inertia with React. Let me just remove this. Here we go. Language, TypeScript, of course, Tailwind CSS for the front end, bundling, Vite Plus, package management, Bun, URL library.cn, hosting and deployment, Laravel Cloud, local development tools, AI model is Cloud Code Opus 4.6, AI UI, Cloud Code CLI, and GitHub Desktop for the reviewing, AI MCPs, Playwright, Figma, Boost, IDEs, PHP Storm, and Sublime Text when it's small, Terminal, Ghostly, Cache and DB, the production ones. Okay, let me just remove this. macOS for operating system, DB Viewer, Table Plus, Browser, Firefox, or Chrome, Git provider, GitHub, environment, Laravel Herd, debug, DD, and communication, Slack or Telegram. That's easy to forget how big is the stack. And you know what, Chad? You are a software engineer. I want to finish with this topic. When you guys think that software engineer is over and you guys are going to lose your job, this is how small AI is in your stack. Okay? So this is your job as a software engineer, this stuff plus this stuff, and this is how small AI will just literally do out of your job, okay? Just a small portion. And AI is literally one more piece into the stack. That's it. No more than that. Okay? All right? So if you think like your job is over, that's how small AI is within the stack component. Okay? Bug tracker, GitHub, dude. Your stack is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget the thinking part. 100%. 100%. Okay? So, Chad, I think like tomorrow I will potentially do a video justifying like all my options and do a video for my YouTube channel. That video will probably go out by the end of the week. So, if you guys enjoyed today's live stream, don't forget, go to that video too, which probably will be out by Friday or, likely Friday. And write your comments below that video, okay? Also, before we end today's live stream, don't forget, go all the way down today and click on the like button and subscribe button. Analytics, fandom analytics, actually. Thinking part is the option on the AI, right? I don't know, man. I think a bunch. Like a bunch of this stuff, I probably wouldn't ask AI to just come up with this. Backups, yeah, I mean, most of the services I use, they come with backups by default, So if I'm using Postgres, I'm going to very likely to rely on the service that uses Postgres database as a service, and those offer backups, okay? Great stream as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, chat, that's it for today's live stream. We have a bunch of people watching right now. Don't forget, put like before you leave. Let's rate someone on Twitch as usual. We have Theo streaming, chat. Let's rate Theo because he's absolutely awesome. Feel free to put the PHP emoji if you want to. You don't have to, but feel free to do it. Let's rate Theo as usual. He is absolutely awesome. So let's actually do that right real quick, okay? W Nuno, W Chat, you guys are absolutely awesome, okay? Love you all, and catch you guys next Wednesday. Peace out. Boo!